Something wrong?
Just didn't expect you to be so paranoid about people.
Well, we could have met at any restaurant in Austin, including the Driscoll, and we would have paid. But when you insisted on meeting here, well, I wanted us to be able to talk in privacy. Oh, don't mind him. It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Escobar. Brenda Saffold.
Pleasure's mine, Miss Saffold.
Oh, please call me Brenda.
Usual, Amy.
Oh, nothing for me. After eating where I do, I don't think my stomach can endure a place like this. So, what do you want to know that hasn't been addressed in 100 other interviews before this one?
One simple question. Why?
Could you be a little more precise, Rob?
Neither one of us needs a history lesson, but I will cover it anyway. 5 years ago, your alien friends showed up in the middle of a nuclear war, saving the world. They set up shop, cleaned up the radiation fallout that was threatening to destroy what was left of the world, and pretty much got us back to where we are today.
Yes, fortunate for us, wasn't it?
There's no denying that we would all be glowing in the dark if they hadn't come when they did. It seems a bit too convenient to me that they showed up right then, but we will save that for another discussion. What I want to know is why did they do it?
My father used to say, never look a gift horse in the mouth. I'm sure you've heard that one before. Their view is that they had been watching us for a long time, wondering if they could trust us enough to reveal themselves. When the 30-minute war started, they realized they had to step in and do something, otherwise we would all be killed off. And so they did. And by the way, and they aren't just my alien friends, they prefer to be called the Guardians.
Yeah, whatever. I'm sure if they were willing to show themselves, that they could explain all this with a few grunts and squeaks.
That's exactly why they don't show themselves. Humanity's xenophobia is very obvious, and they feel that they are better able to help behind the curtain, so to speak.
But you've seen it.
I have. And after the initial shock, I feel that their generosity far outweighs their alien appearance. I've never had trouble with the way people appear.
It appears so. Even though they're not really people.
Look, they have contributed a lot to this world. On top of saving us from killing ourselves off, they rebuilt the power grid, offering free electricity to anybody who wants it. They decontaminated the soil and the air. They even disarmed the countries that started this whole mess.
But at the same time, they have been selling the world a bill of goods. When people asked what they believed, they introduced us to their religion.
Oh, don't tell me you're one of those anti-fusion people, are you?
So, fusion, which is supposed to be their official religion, is built around the idea of self-appeasement, what my grandma used to call hedonism. The idea is that everybody takes care of themselves to the detriment of everybody else.
Yeah, but at the same...
Since it was introduced, churches and charities have disappeared by the droves. People don't want to carry the burden of a family anymore, so divorce has gone through the roof. Basically, our society is going in the toilet.
No one forces anyone to follow the rites and rituals of fusion. And look, 35% of the population is against it, which is their right.
No, I'm not anti-fusion, and I don't think it's being stuffed down our throats, but you gotta consider.
What? What do I have to consider?
Look, the aliens, your guardians, interrupted a very nasty thermonuclear war. They could have gotten their own butts in a sling.
Agreed.
But instead, they did a very generous thing, and they stopped it before it killed everyone off. Everything they've done after that has been consistent with a very generous nature.
What are you implying, Rob?
I'm not implying anything, Brenda. But when was the last time you saw a homeless person on these streets? 5 years ago, you had to wade through them to get in the door here. Now, they're nowhere to be seen. And when was the last time you saw an old person? I mean, someone over the age of 70. And have you visited a prison lately? If you did, you'd find there's no one there.
They are being taken care of.
Where? How?
It's very difficult for the Guardians to continue with their generosity if we continue to challenge everything they do.
That's just it. They are so generous, and yet they promote a religion that is anti-generous. Your father used to say, never look a gift horse in the mouth. My father had a saying too. There's no such thing as a free lunch. The aliens approached and saved all our butts. I was one of those who raised our hands and shouted hallelujah. But lately, I've become a lot more skeptical. What's in it for them?
How can you even ask that question? That is probably the most ungrateful statement I have ever heard since they arrived. I don't even dare take this back to them. God, I am ashamed of what my fellow humans are thinking.
Okay, so be ashamed. Color me ungrateful. Color me anything you want. But answer my question.
Look, Mr. Escobar, you have a choice. Things are pretty nice around here these days. Wall Street is back up, albeit operating out of Chicago. People are happy. The cost of living is down. I would wager that this story is not being promoted by your bosses. Because if they knew that you were challenging the continuous flow of energy and advertising that your paper needs to continue, then you wouldn't be here, would you? I don't know, maybe you'd be in Arizona, covering irrigation stories. So, the obvious choice would be to go with the flow and to accept the good things that are coming your way.
Don't make waves. I've heard that one before.
Your other choice, the way your questions are taking you now, is to upset the good things that the world has going for it. Challenge the Guardians. Unmask the aliens for the evil perpetrators you think they are, although I haven't seen them do one evil deed so far. Continue down that road, and you'll find that it's a very lonely, very dangerous road.
I've been down that road before. So for the last time, why did the aliens stop the war?
This interview is over.
Score one for the aliens. Thanks for the coffee, Amy.